Hi there, Visionary family, and welcome back to another one with Lady Visionary. Hope you guys are doing amazing. If you're new to my channel, please do go ahead and smash on that red subscribe button and become part of this amazing family that's growing here on YouTube. Guys, I'm very, very excited to be talking about this topic. What? Ghana? Well, I don't know what some of you guys will think about this particular topic, but I'm interested to hear your opinions, whether you agree or disagree, what it will mean for Ghana. Is this a step in the right direction? I really want to hear from you guys and what you think, right? So I am going to open up the call line so you guys can come in and speak to me, speak to the audience, and let me know what you think about this. The fact that Ghana has said that it will no longer be exporting cocoa beans to Switzerland. What? Did you guys watch that? Like, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments. So we're obviously waiting for more of you guys to join, more people to join so we can get into the conversation. Like this, I think this topic is hot. This topic is very hot, and I need you guys to be interactive in the comments. I need you guys to be interactive by just clicking on the link when I send it out, and then you guys can, come in and speak to us in the live, right? I'm seeing you guys join, but as I said, I will be waiting for a couple more people to join before we get into this topic. Again, if you're new to my channel, please do go ahead and smash that red subscribe button. If you're here and you're liking the topic so far, please do go ahead and give me a thumbs up. I would really, really appreciate that. Guys, if you're not following me on Instagram, please go ahead and follow me over there. I am on Instagram as Lady Visionary. I have also a business Instagram, and that is Twin Lakes Recreational Island. So again, Twin Lakes Recreational Island. Go over there and, you know, follow me on Instagram. Guys, I also want to let you guys know that I'm offering consultations for those of you guys who are interested in relocating and investing here in Rwanda or in the eastern parts of Africa. So basically we can set up a Zoom consultation. They normally last an hour and they're very, very affordable, guys. So all the details regarding booking consultations are down in the description bar, so you can go ahead and check it out. My email address is projecthealtha@gmail.com. I will just go ahead and put that on the screen for you guys, if I can find it. So you guys can send me an email. As I said, it's projecthealtha@gmail.com for those of you guys who are interested. I recommend having a consultation before thinking about, relocating and investing here in Rwanda or even in Africa. I'm seeing more of you guys join, so thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys for being here. Really do appreciate you guys. Bear with me, guys. So the topic, right? The topic is a hot topic, and as I said, I really do want to hear from you guys and what you think about this. For me, I think it's great. It's a great move. Ghana is doing big moves, big, big moves. I'm like, what? Like I'm not gonna lie, I was surprised. I was really, really surprised about this. Like, what? Guys, really? Is this really happening? I'm seeing more of you guys join. Thank you so much and welcome. Please, as you enter, just, give this live a thumbs up. I would really, really appreciate that. Please give this live a thumbs up. Right, I'm going to go ahead and greet you guys who are currently in the building as we wait for some more people to join. And then I'm going to send out the live link so you guys can go ahead and click on that and let me know what you think. Again, I just want you guys to be interactive in the comments section. Like, this is a big move for Ghana. This is a big move for Africa. I am super impressed. And I don't know what you guys think about this. So I really want to hear from you guys. Any Ghanaians who are in the house, please do feel free to, click on the link when I send it out and let me know your thoughts regarding Ghana's decision to stop the export of cocoa beans to Switzerland. Let me know what you guys think. Right. So as I said, I'm going to go through and greet you guys. So, welcome. We got Mountain of Inspiration in the building. Hello and welcome. Thanks for being here. Thanks for, always being supportive. I see you in the building. Hello, Lady Visionary and the Visionary family. Hi to you as well. We've got Ruby in the building. Looks like I'm the first. You, I think, yeah, you were one of the first. I think Mountain of Inspiration was first, and then you. Bonjour, host. Bonjour, ça va? Ça va bien? Et toi? My French, guys. Yeah, I try, but my French. Marilyn Charles is in the building. Hello, Marilyn. Hey, Lady Visionary. Photon 30. Hey, I see you. How are you doing? How are you doing? We have Sizzles Diaries in the building. Greetings, everyone. Hello, Lady Visionary. George, hello. I seen you in my live before? I don't think I have. Are you new? If you're new, go ahead and smash on that red subscribe button. Join the Visionary family. Hello, Lady Visionary. I'm calling from Germany. Fantastic. Wow. Is it Guten Morgen there? Guten. My German, guys, my German. Don't even laugh at me. My German is not very good. Um, BLK Mail TV, big topic. Hey, family. Thank you for joining us. Zen is in the building. Hey, Lady Visionary. Hello to you too. How are you all doing? Let me know where you're listening in from. I would very much appreciate that. Photon 30 saying, yes, way to go, Ghana. We can't afford to give our raw materials for pennies. We need to and values charge fair prices. Most definitely, most definitely. And I agree with you guys who's saying that this is a hot topic. Like, so, you know, I was listening to the Swiss president, and she was saying basically, I don't know if you guys have listened to that. I don't know if it's conference or whatnot, but basically the Swiss president was like, you guys have the raw materials and we need it. So it's like, it was kind of like, I don't know if you guys felt the energy, but it was more of like, it felt like a demand, like you must give us these resources. You have it, we want it, give it to us. It's like, what? It was like, I don't know if you guys listened and really took that in, but that sort of authoritarian voice. And then the Ghanaian president, guys, I've got my quotes here. Like, I've got my quotes here. So that's uh, Nana Akufo-Addo, the president of Ghana, right? He was saying like that basically Swiss, like basically they've been trading partners for so many years, and basically they're the largest trading partners in the whole of in terms of the whole of the African continent, and they said he's basically, the president says Ghana no longer wants to be dependent on the export of raw materials. Like, what? Like, this was such a big move. So basically, Ghana wants to process its cocoa beans. Ghana wants to industrialize and create job opportunities for the Ghanaian people, And so for so long, Africa has been in a position where they've been so dependent on the West, so dependent on the Americas. So it's like, this kind of dependency, it's kind of difficult to then pull back, to draw back and say, right, hold on, no, actually, we're not going to continue this relationship anymore. Like, we're not going to continue exporting our cocoa beans to you. Actually, we want to process it and we want to make our own chocolate, Ghana made chocolate. We want to process that. We want to create jobs for the people. And I'm like, Wow. And if you saw the president's face, the Swiss president's face, she was basically like, is this really happening? Like, what? Is this really happening? So I think for me, it's a brave move. I don't really know like the immediate impact that it will have on Ghana, but I feel like in the long term, Ghana will really benefit from this move. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Let me know what you think in the comments. But one thing that the president said that was quite powerful, I wrote it down so I can read it out to you guys. He basically said, there's no future prosperity for the Ghanaian people in the short, medium, or long term if we continue to maintain economic structures that are dependent on the export of raw materials. And that is so true. Like a lot of the times, people say, like, a lot of our African leaders are like puppets to the West. And I think even like the Western governments and like, all these governments around the world, they kind of think that they can, like they can toy African leaders as they want. But we're seeing a lot of changes. We're seeing a lot of changes. And for me, I'm like, I'm so impressed. I'm very, very impressed because that's what Africa needs. Like, we have like this dependency on the West, we have this dependency on charities, and that's not helping Africa at all. It's actually maintaining poverty. What Africa needs is actually to control its resources. And we're seeing Ghana now take control of its resources. And now we're seeing that, Ghana is thinking about the future of its people and thinking about like more long term, like, because I know that a lot of people argue that a lot of our presidents may look at the short term gain instead of looking at the future ahead. And one thing I notice about like the Chinese is that they are very long-term thinkers. So even if you really study how the Chinese are mobilizing on the continent here, the African continent, how they position themselves very strategically, because for them, they know that Africa is the future. Even for them, the way that they're going to build their wealth is by being parasites to Africa. So they have really positioned themselves for the long term. They're not just thinking about today, but they're thinking about generations to come and how they can build their empire, build their wealth through being parasites to Africa and basically taking over the continent. We're seeing how the Chinese are positioning themselves. Some of you guys or some people would argue that, oh, we complain about the Chinese, but what are we doing? But it's just to have that level of awareness to say, look, if we don't work strategically, then these different players will come in and just basically take over the continent, and before we know it, it's like owned by all of these foreigners. So we have to be very, very careful. So that's why I'm just like very, very impressed with the way, or this strategy of Ghana in terms of stopping the export of cocoa beans to Switzerland. Because people say, oh, Switzerland, they do the best chocolate, they have the best chocolate. But listen, that their cocoa is coming from Ghana, and a large percentage, sorry, their cocoa is coming from Africa, and a large percentage of that is coming from Ghana. So this move is a big move. As I said, it's going to create so many jobs for the people, like especially the young people. We have a huge problem on the continent with young people who are just idle because they don't have jobs, a lot of unemployment on the continent. So this is like creating a shift. It's creating a shift. And I feel like so many more African leaders just need to take a leaf out of Nana Akufo-Addo's book. Like, guys, what do you guys think? I am so impressed. I'm like, wow. Wow, if only more African leaders will just take that brave step and pull away from the West, pull away. I'm not saying they can't do business with the West and with the Americas, but start thinking Africa first. Start thinking Africa first, you know? And yeah, guys, let me know what you think in the comments. I'm so excited. Like, what? We are finally starting to see the change on the continent. Like, what? African leaders making big moves for the people. We need more of that. We need more of that. And like, just to see the Swiss president's face, it was like, what? This is really happening. Yes, it's really happening. Africa for Africans. We need to think Africa first. Like, I don't know what you guys are saying. I don't know what you guys are thinking. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Please do go ahead and smash on that red subscribe button if you're new here on my channel. Please also give me a thumbs up if you're liking the conversation. Support with a super chat as well. Guys, let's hear what you guys are saying. Then actually, I'm going to send out the link because I want to invite you guys in to talk to me. Yeah, let's do that. Okay, let's do that. Bear with me, guys. I am about to send out the link. Again, if we have any Ghanaians in the house, you know, if you've got anything to say, right, you need to click on the link because for me, I'm so excited. I'm seeing change, positivity, like, what? This is really happening, guys. Right, so let's send out the link. Right, so let's read some of your comments while we wait for someone to join the live. Marilyn, I hope he stands on his word. Declaration, don't bow to pressure. We know how these people operate. Like, for me, he sound like, did you hear his speech? He sounded very, very committed. He sounded very serious. Like, what? No, I really think this is serious. I really don't think that he will go back on his word. Like, what? No way can he go back on his word. Like, we are watching, the Ghanaian people are watching. Like, what he said, that this has to be done for the future prosperity of the Ghanaian people, right? And if Ghana maintains those structures of dependency, it's going to continue to stifle Africa because that's what's been happening for too long. The level of poverty that we see on the continent, which is not necessary. So we're starting to see long-term plans for Africa, for its people. And that's what Africa needs. We're seeing the diaspora becoming more awoke to the realities. We're seeing the diaspora, starting to invest here on the continent. That's what Africa needs. We're seeing the diaspora mobilizing, coming to the continent and working with continental Africans for the future of Africa. That's what Africa needs. We're seeing the likes of President Kagame, who has set out goals for Rwanda, and Rwanda being such an example for so many African countries around, on the continent. So we're starting to see the changes that we wish for, and for me, that is phenomenal. Some people say that the changes that are happening are very slow. They should be faster, but at least things are happening. We can't expect things to happen overnight. And the fact that us, the diaspora, we are more awoke and we have a voice and we're speaking out. I'm sure these leaders are listening to these conversations. Believe it or not, they're listening to these conversations and they know that we're not happy with a lot of things. And this is igniting change. Definitely, I believe that. It's igniting change. And this is a move in the right direction for the people. So I'm excited. I'm very excited. And I do think that he is serious when he's talking about this. Ghana will no longer be exporting cocoa beans to Switzerland. They'll be processing cocoa beans in Ghana, making chocolate in Ghana, creating jobs for Ghanaian people. Guys. Ruby is saying big move, but key is still more diaspora and Africans buying land and sharing their expertise before too many snakes. I totally agree. That's what I'm saying. The diaspora mobilizing and coming to the continent, bringing our money, buying land, basically investing, creating opportunities for our people. Each and every one of us out there can make a contribution and, stop blaming our leaders all the time, but think about what can we bring? How can we make a contribution? At least we can say that we have tried. Okay. Yes, Guten Morgen. Yeah, I did a bit of German at school. Right. Guten Morgen. Lady Visionaire, having the best quality of cocoa, not knowing how to give it value is totally different. I totally understand, but if Ghana doesn't try, and if they completely just have this idea of just being dependent and believing that the West can bring quality, it's time they started believing in themselves. And this is, for me, I think, is a step in the right direction. This is them trying, right? This is them trying. And I believe that we have the resources to process, Ghana has the resources to process its own cocoa and make chocolate. They have the power to do that. So, why maintain this dependency because we think that the West or the Americas are better at doing things than we are? It's time to change that narrative. And we're seeing that now with Ghana coming out and saying, we are no longer exporting cocoa beans to Switzerland. We're processing it ourselves and we're creating jobs for our people. Okay. T Shield is saying Africa first, black first. Marilyn Charles is saying yes, Africa first. Guys, if you guys have anything you want to say, please do go ahead and click on the link. I've sent it out in the chat. If we have any Ghanaians in the house, I'd also love to hear from you. Or anybody, that wants to add value to this topic, please do go ahead and click on that link that I've sent out. Okay, T Shields is saying international trade has to be for our benefit and not for the benefit of our enemies. Black first, black first. Yeah, definitely. International trade definitely has to benefit our people here on the continent, because a lot of the times all the clause and everything, all the policies benefits the West and the Americas more than it benefits the people on the continent. So it's time for that, all of that to change. And yes, a lot of that is going to be down to our African leaders and how they negotiate in these circumstances. I'm seeing more of you guys join. Hello and welcome. St. James is saying Ghana and Ivory Coast should work together to rule the cocoa market. Yeah, most definitely. And that just comes down again to united we stand, divided we fall. That's something Kwame Nkrumah spoke about, the different African nations coming together, unifying and forming a powerful bond. Because until we do that, I'm telling you, until we do that, until we unite and form that bond that we need to drive Africa forward, then we'll be lagging behind. But we're starting to see change, okay? We do have a guest in the back. We have George. Let's see what George has to say. Okay, hello. Right, is that me that's interfering? Let's have a look and see if that's my volume. Let's have a look. Okay. Is that your volume, George? I can't hear you. Hello. I think, George, you'll have to sort out your sound because I can't hear you at all. You'll have to sort out your sound and then come back. Okay. AC Monroe is in the building. Let's hear what you're saying. Okay. Love what Ghana is doing. They're making big moves. We need to process our own raw materials. Most definitely. Like, I remember the first time I visited Ghana. This was back in 2010. And I visited, like, was it a gold mining company operating in Ghana? And I was so frustrated because, a lot of the times you'll see that the African people are the ones who are extracting the natural resources, and they're getting paid like pittance. They're getting paid very little money. And then these raw materials are exported and refined in like the West and the Americas, and those people get paid big money. So my question was like, why can't you bring those facilities to refine the gold um, in Ghana, you know? And of course they wouldn't, because for them, they're making the big profit. So why would they create those type of jobs in Ghana? So most definitely, and that's what a lot of obviously African countries, they export their raw materials, and these people are making big bucks. So of course, for me, I'm excited. Ghana is making big moves, and I believe that more African countries need to follow suit. Most definitely, they need to follow suit. Right, let me go ahead and send out that link again for anybody who wants to join, who has anything valuable they want to add to the conversation. Guys, if you haven't already done so, please smash on that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already done so. Support this live with a super chat. Guys, I'm also on Patreon, so you can support me over on Patreon. All the work I'm doing here in Rwanda, all of your support goes towards building my project, so that's very much appreciated. Right. Marilyn Charles is saying, I felt so proud when I heard what he said. I'm happy. I was like, what? I had to listen to that speech myself. Like, I think, yeah, it was my husband that was telling me about it, and I listened to his speech, and I was just like, whoa, like this is big moves. Like, you have to be brave, because when you've been dependent on somebody, dependent on something, it's difficult to withdraw. It's difficult to take that stance. So for me, it's like, wow, that's a brave move to then say, right, we're no longer going to be exporting coffee beans to Switzerland. And we are going to start processing it. We're going to start creating jobs on the continent for our people, because the future of our people depend on it. It's like, what? What? Like, the Swiss president, did you see her face? She was flabbergasted. She was shocked. She was astonished. She was surprised. She was like, this is not happening. Yes, yes, it's happening. And it's time that so many African leaders, followed suit. Most definitely. It's time we started taking control of our raw materials. Guys, let's see what more of you guys are saying. T Shields is saying, I'm on my way. I'll be there in May with my 3.5 million network to invest and create jobs and to play my part in the development of the continent. Most definitely. The diaspora, we need to mobilize, we need to move, we need to contribute to the development of Africa. Most definitely. Because so many others who don't look like us are here. They're positioned in themselves and they're benefiting from the continent. Right. I believe in my people, says Marilyn Charles. Ruby, if you raise your voice, the leaders will no longer. Sorry. If you raise your voice, the leaders will have no other choice but to listen eventually. Yes, most definitely. And you're starting to see more of us voice our concerns. More of us, like YouTubers and others, platforms like this that raises concerns. African leaders are watching. They are watching. And we want Africa for Africans. We're not saying we can't do business with other parts of the world, but we need to ensure that we are getting a good deal for our future prosperity. Okay, we have a guest in the background, George. Right, let's have a look and see. Hello and welcome, George. Not quite sure, but again, your sound, your mic. So try to see if you can test your mic system and then come back. I'm not hearing you at all. I'm not hearing you at all. And I don't think the audience are able to hear you as well. Okay, so try again. Right, so Delroy saying, please take a look at what Estonia did after they got independence from Russia. Okay, okay, where are we? Golden Heart is in the building. Hello. I saw a video of an African brother already processing chocolate candy bars on the continent already. He can teach people there. Yes. Like the thing about Africa, to be honest, is like we are not short of people who can learn and develop skills. Like African people, if you give them the resources, they will excel. They will excel. And I think that's what the West and the Americas are afraid of. And so a way that they've been able to suppress us is even through the classification system where they class Black people as having the lowest IQs. We don't have the ability to think and do great things. But the fear is that if they give us the resources, if our leaders put the right resources in place, our people will be positioned differently in this global market. We will excel beyond capacity. Right, let's have a look. Add. Hello. Okay, I'm not quite sure. Okay. Hello, can you hear me, George?
Hello, here's George. Can you hear me? Right,
Fantastic.
I can hear you.
Hello and welcome.
Yeah, nice to.
Right, I think his connection.
Yes, I think I have some little bit problem of connection. So I'm trying to log out and log different browser and see whether I'll get a good connection.
Okay, you look into that and then you can come back, George. Okay, so I'm seeing more of you guys join. Please do go ahead and smash that like button, subscribe if you're new. We're having a conversation because Ghana has stopped the export of cocoa beans to Switzerland and they're not happy about it. If you saw that whole talk, that spiel, the Swiss president's face was just like, what? Like, I think this is a move in the right direction. I want to hear from you guys. I've sent out the link. So if we have any Ghanaians or anybody who wants to add value to this topic, you can go ahead and click on the link that I've sent out and let us know your thoughts. And again, you can be interactive in the comment section. Do you think it's a good idea that that Ghana has said no more export of cocoa beans to Switzerland? Do you think they made the wrong move? What do you think? What impact do you think this will have on Ghana? Is it going to be good? Is it going to be bad? Like, what do you think? Do you think more African leaders need to follow suit in terms of its raw materials and starting to process its raw materials in country? What do you guys think? Or do you think like there'll be like there'll be some sort of retaliation from the West and the Americas if African leaders say, well, you know what, we are going to start processing our own raw materials because the future of Africa depends on it, you know? Guys, I think it's a move in the right direction. I'm so impressed with Ghana right now. I'm so impressed with this move. It's like, what? Guys, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Um, Marilyn Charles is saying, yes, we need to unite Africa, vast resources to be self sufficient. Yes, we need to be self sufficient and stop being reliant on the West and the Americas, that dependency culture, you know, that charity, you know, charity. We need to make a shift because the survival of Africa and its people is dependent on these key decisions that our leaders make. Right. So Med J's in the building. Hello from Switzerland. Let me know what you think about the fact that, you know, Ghana is now saying, yeah, Switzerland, no more cocoa beans. You're not getting our cocoa beans. We're processing it on Ghanaian soil. Like, let me know what you think. Let me know what you think. Delroy saying, I eat chocolate all the time. If Ghana makes it, then I will eat Ghana only. Most definitely, we need to support our own. Right. I believe that's George again trying to join us. Let's have a look and see if the network connection is any better. Yeah, let's have a look. Like whilst we wait. Thumbs up, Ghana. Yes. What? Guys, you don't know how excited I am about this move. Like, Ghana is really doing it for me right now. Yes. Ruby is saying this is only the beginning. And I really feel like, yes, it's the beginning, but it's a step in the right direction. And so I feel like now we're starting to see, you know, we're starting to see the changes. We're starting to see African leaders wake up a little bit more and make some right decisions. So for me, I'm impressed, but obviously I'm my hope is that more African leaders will start to make better decisions for the continent or for the country that they're leading. We've got Dark Spear in the building saying, peace, fam. Peace to you as well and welcome. Are you new? Are you new to the channel, Dark Spear? Med J is in the building. Good evening, Kerry-Ann. Not too long ago, I saw the news report on French TV stating that Italy was the capital of coffee. Ethiopia be like, a joke to you. Okay, reading some more of you guys' comments. Just let me know what you guys think about this topic. If you're liking the topic, please do go ahead and smash the like button. Support Lady Visionary with the super chat, supporting all my work that I'm doing here on the continent, supporting young people in business, creating job opportunities here, and so much more that I'm yet to share with you guys. Yes, Nana Dreams. Nana, I know that name is Ghanaian. Nana Dreams saying, I'm glad Ghana is taking charge now. Oh, what? The president of Ghana sounded very, very serious. And that's why I'm so convinced that this is the step in the right direction. I'm like, wow, wow. Regman Music is in the building. Grace, peace, and blessings. My lady at Lady Visionary. Hello and welcome. Marilyn, yes, I agree with you, Lady Visionary. And dominate. Medjay saying dominate. Yeah, there's a delay to connect with Lady Visionary. Um, T-Shield is saying, think about it. They are a scarf of us because I think scared of us because they know we are better than them and can outcompete them. That is why they hate us and oppress us and try to keep us down. Most definitely, I agree, because they want to be the dominant players in this whole global situation. But, you know, it's time that Africa started position, positioning itself and making decisions that's best for our people. Because we have been getting the bad end of the bargain for far too long, and it's time for change. It's time for change. You're not going to be happy. We're going to be met with so much resistance, but I hope that our leaders will be resilient in this fight to put Africa first. I'm not saying, don't do business with the West or with the Americas. No, I'm saying like they need to start making decisions that means that we win in the situation as well, and not being afraid because of sanctions that that sanctions that may be put on them. If we continue that dependency thing, that level of dependency. Okay, we have Mountain O in the building. I'm not sure, but George, there's a problem with your connection. Um, bear with me. Okay, bear with me. Okay.
Uh-huh.
Hello and welcome again. Lovely to have you back. Lovely to have you back.
Thanks for having me.
You're most welcome.
You're amazing. Yeah, I mean, it's a very, very amazing debate that you just started there. And I want to thank God for you. Let me just say why. When I was born and raised in Africa, the first time I had a taste of chocolate, I had the impression the chocolate was actually something that was actually coming from overseas. I had the impression that the raw material for the chocolate were actually something that was coming from Europe. And it was so expensive that each and every time you'll have access to a chocolate, it was an amazing treat from your family. It's only later you realize that, oh my goodness, this is coming from our country. It was just being processed overseas. And when it comes back, it's more expensive. So what they did in Ghana is brilliant. We need to actually support him. We need to actually make sure that our voices are heard. So he knows that the whole continent, not just the continent, but the diaspora is beyond him. We see the value in what he's actually trying to accomplish, and we're definitely praying protection over his government, over the region, so that things will actually remain the way they are. Because Ghana is only one producer. The second producer is Ivory Coast, and Ivory Coast has not said anything yet. So you can already see where things can actually potentially go. But this is just the beginning. Why? Because I was listening to Professor Lumumba out of Kenya a few days ago, a few months ago. He said something very important. He says, we have so many resources that you produce, but not one single, for example, coltan. We have the coltan close to DRC and Rwanda, but not one single African country produces cell phone. Not one single African country makes cell phone in Africa. Not one single country. Completely crazy. And if you have to go back to history, you look at things like the gentleman I talk about all the time, Abebe Bikila, the Ethiopian runner who actually went to Rome and ran barefoot. He won. He won. He went back to Africa, and no African country had the chance to actually put together a shoe company to actually support that gentleman. But we have the raw material. We have rubber. We have everything to actually make things happen. So let's just pray and hope that with this movement, that we're actually going to actually put our minds together as Africa, not as people from Rwanda, Burundi, Uganda, Congo, Kenya. We're going to put our minds together just as sons and daughters of Africa, put our minds together and find ways to start using the resources that we have available to ourselves and the mind that we have to create a new Africa that the world needs to see.
No, I totally agree, most definitely. But do you think that, obviously you're saying, oh, this is a step in the right direction. What
Absolutely.
sort of impact do you think this will make on Ghana? Like, because we think economically, what type of impact will this have on Ghana, because he was talking about the president of Ghana was talking about the fact that the cocoa will now be processed in Ghana, creating jobs and moving away from this dependency attitude, and industrialization is what Ghana needs. And what do you think? Well, initially, do you think there will be a negative impact? Like, what do you think would the impact will be?
I mean, the impact will mostly be political, and my hope and prayer is that the African nations will actually rally around this issue, this cause, and support the Ghanaian brother. Because as long as we can all speak as one in terms of African leaders in African countries, we can find a way then to actually weather the storm. Because we know how things work when it comes to the global stage. If and when a local president tries to actually push back, they're trying to find a way to create some kind of instability around the region or the country for him to just be pushed aside. So let's just hope and pray.
African leaders need to work to that, because I think it's a weapon that's been used to divide our people for so long. Psychologically trying to play a role to cause instability and division.
Yes.
And that's how that's affected the African continent. So our leaders need to basically wise up to this fact, and so it'll be interesting to see what other leaders have to say about the decision of Ghana to start processing its own cocoa beans. It'll be interesting to see whether the president gets support, or will other presidents keep quiet, or will they start to follow suit?
That's a very good question, and I believe the answer, as far as this question is concerned, should come from the bottom as opposed from the top. We as the people, we should find a way to actually make sure that we are vocal and make sure that our voices are heard. The world needs to know that we're actually supporting this local leader. We are very proud of him, and we can see it's a step in the right direction. Because politicians will always be politicians. So some of them may choose to actually be quiet because of their own personal interest in the matter. But as far as we are concerned, as long as we can speak as one, as African people, and also not just African people born in Africa, but also I'm saying anyone of African descent should just definitely be vocal about this and make sure that we show support beyond this gentleman.
Most definitely. I'm totally in support. I'm like, I want to see this go further, like I want to see the job creations in terms of opportunities for people on the continent, or for Ghanaians, now that there's been a shift. We know that Switzerland, they're not happy about this, but who cares? Like, we need to put our people first, and I'm completely elated. I'm just like, wow, really? Is this really happening? Are we starting change that we've always wished for? It's looking very positive. And someone did say in the comments, like, they hope that it's not just words, but I really believe this is such a big decision. Absolutely. That I don't think it's just words.
No, not at all. And as a matter of fact, I'm just also hoping that you and Wodemai can actually do a live, because Wodemai's family, they own also a land where they do actually work on cocoa. And they did a video of this a few months ago. And if we can just bring this back to the surface, this is a debate. This is a debate that needs to go back to the forefront. We need to make sure that people understand how important this is and how this can impact the future.
Yeah, that's definitely, when I heard about this, and I was just thinking about it, and I was just like, wow, this is big, because if done well, it can change a lot for Ghana and its people. So, and you rightly said, I was wondering, what does Wodemaya think about this? So it's interesting that you say that maybe I should reach out to Wodemaya and see what. And you mentioned that his family has a cocoa farm. So we'll definitely reach out to Wodemaya, and be interesting to hear his thoughts regarding this. I'm sure he's also equally about the news.
Absolutely. And you know what you're doing is already amazing. What you're doing is brilliant, because you're actually creating awareness are you actually keeping the awareness fresh in our minds so we know that this is important? We all have to say something about this and not just be quiet, keep quiet about it. So which is very important.
So what would you say like to people? Because I don't know what, like, some people may be on the other side of the spectrum in terms of disagreeing with the decision. And what would you have to say about that? Because I'm like if you look beyond, you can see that this has huge potential for the Ghanaian people to change the livelihoods of people, creating jobs, changing the future of Ghanaians. So, what would you say to people who think that the president actually made the wrong decision?
I would say, you know what, let's just think beyond politics. Let's think in terms of culture. Can you imagine that on a daily basis, your kids wake up and they ask you to buy them cookies or to buy them biscuits or to buy them candies. And whenever you buy them cookies and candies, they are overjoyed as if you're giving them something that comes from heaven. But the funny thing is, the very ingredient that this biscuit manufacturer actually use to produce whatever they're actually selling to your children come from your backyard. But your kids have absolutely no idea that it comes from your own house. And it takes a decision like this to actually shift the narrative and to let the kids know you're actually richer than you think. It may cost a lot of money, but this is something that comes from your own backyard. And I'm telling you, I was born and raised in Africa, and for a very long time, I had no idea that this was coming from Africa. I had zero idea.
Wow. Wow.
So for a
So,
long time, you used to think that this was a treat. It wasn't a treat. It was something from your own.
yeah, I'm saying it will help change the narrative because, as you're saying, so many people don't realize that these raw materials are coming from their own backyard. And so more Africans, I think, need to learn that, the continent is actually vast on so many levels, and start to appreciate that. So
Yes.
definitely the step, I think, easy for anybody to think that like this, what the president has done, the Ghanaian president has done, is not
Yes.
because I believe that more African leaders need to follow suit with regards to its raw materials and where it's processed, because we have the capacity to do that if we believe in ourselves.
And guess what? Here's the funniest thing when it comes to this thing. A few years ago, my friend and I were actually thinking in terms of actually starting a processing plant in Ivory Coast. And when we look at the cost of everything that we need to bring to Africa, it was not even more expensive, no more than $100,000. So, but the funny thing is, there was just a lot of political barriers, obstacles that wanted to prevent us from bringing this thing into Africa, because they would say, you can't do that because we signed an agreement with these companies. We can only produce and ship it to them for them to process and ship it back to us. But with what is happening right now in Ghana, yes,
and America's put in place that stifle the growth of Africa. And so you're seeing Ghana now remove those barriers and take charge and stand up and say, right, we will no longer be exporting cocoa beans to Switzerland. Did you see the expressions on the Swiss president's face? It was just like, what?
She was blindsided.
She really was. She really was. But for me, I was just like, go Ghana!
Yes.
For your contributions. Do you have any final to say?
Absolutely. Thank you very much for what you're doing. You remind me so much of Bob Marley. Let me tell you why. Bob Marley was actually in Kingston, Jamaica, but he was actually very, very African-minded, to the point where he decided to pay his own way out of Jamaica to bring his instrument and his people all the way to Zimbabwe to perform for free. So what you're doing for Africa reminds me so much of his spirit. So thank you. Keep up the good work, and I'm definitely behind you.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate you and everything that you contribute to my channel. Thank you so much. And please do
bye-bye.
Take care.
Will do. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you so much for your contribution. Much appreciated. Let's see what you guys are saying in the comment section. Oh, wow. Ghana. African leaders need to follow suit. Let me know what you guys think. Golden Heart is saying, our crowns have been given back to us. Black people need to take their position. That's true. Classic Citizen, CC, just joining. Why has Ghana stopped reasoning behind it? Well, according to, let me just read out, quote, like word for word, right? He says, there is no future prosperity for the Ghanaian people in the short, medium, or long term if we continue to maintain economic structures that are dependent on the export of raw materials. So he's thinking about the prosperity of the Ghanaian people, the future prosperity, as well as if they now start to process the cocoa beans and things like that, it's going to create jobs for the Ghanaian people. A big issue on the continent is unemployment, and unemployment amongst our young people who have so much passion, determination, and drive. They want to work, okay, but they don't have the opportunities. So the president's thinking is that by doing this, they will create future prosperity for the Ghanaian people, obviously creating jobs and improving the livelihoods of their people. The level of poverty we're seeing on the continent, for all the resources that we have, this needs to change. And we're starting to see change. And I do hope that other African leaders will follow suit. Okay. Hope that answers your question, Classic. Kim, I will force many hands to respect the continent and its resources. Ruby is saying France is trembling right now since all their wealth is taken from Africa and the Caribbean. We're going to take it all back. We're going to, we're going to step up our game and we're going to be in control. That is the vision, right? I really believe that Africa has what it takes, but it takes a level of bravery because the West and the Americas will, try to create some instability, whilst we're trying to make decisions to better the continent, because they don't want to see progress on the continent, believe it or not. And they've maintained these dependency structures to ensure that the African continent is always beneath and never above. And I think, our African leaders and people from the diaspora and our continental Africans, they need to wake up to these realities. And the future of Africa is dependent on the decisions that our leaders, that we make. And so that's why it's also equally important that, yes, our leaders have a responsibility, but we, the diaspora, the continental Africans, we have a responsibility to contribute to the development of our Africa. Because if we're waiting for them to do it, it will never happen. It will never happen. So it's going to be down to us and our collective contributions. Okay, right. Pepe IV is saying there will be retaliation, no doubt. Africa needs to develop collective security and a military complex in short order. Ghana will need China or Russia now more than ever. Right, I agree. There will be retaliation. But we definitely have to stand strong with our decisions. Ghana has to stand firm because the future prosperity of the Ghanaian people depends on this decision. Right. T-Shield is saying Ghana made the right decision and that should be the norm throughout Africa. Those of our resources to be used for our benefit. Most definitely. It's time that, the resources on the continent started to benefit our people at a greater level, right? Rukundo's in the building saying, hello, Lady Visionary. Hello, big topic. Most definitely. Most definitely. Nana Dreams is in the building. Right. Guys, let me know what you guys think. Oh my goodness. We're starting to see a shift. Okay. Rakunda is saying, okay, right. Before we get to your comment, Ghana tried this before with the tomatoes. They tried stopping the import of tomatoes to favor local produce, but got killed by. Listen, we have to try. Ghana has to try. They have to keep trying, you know. We have to keep trying. T Shield is saying, Lady Visionary, I propose this question to you. Do you think that when Africa is strong enough, should it impose a colonial tax for Africa and a slavery reparation tax for the diaspora? This is a big topic, you know, this is a big topic. Like, this will cause war. I think this would cause war. So, you know, the continent has to tread carefully. But my thinking is that, you know, we need to start somewhere, and we need to start making decisions that will mean greater prosperity for the African people. Okay, we're going to be during this process, there'll be a lot of retaliation. But do we just kind of, because we're up again, like we've been faced with retaliation, do we just sit back and take it? Do we say, oh, you know, we give up, we're just going to throw in the towel? Because they ain't giving up, so why should we? Why should we? Okay, wow. This is a huge question. It is a big question. Big question. Right. Ruby Keynote is saying Ghana's statement was more of a message to other African countries. Yes, like, as I said, I hope that other African countries will start to follow suit. That was a very powerful message for other African countries. And, you know, African leaders need to stand together. They need to come together. They need to unite and stand as one, most definitely. Matthew. Oh, God. Someone is saying, right, I won't even go into that, but you know, change starts somewhere. And I know people will have different things they have to say about African leaders, but come on, guys, how can we make a contribution? Right? You can bash African leaders left, right, and center, but what are you doing? What can we do collectively? Sitting there complaining, not providing any solutions, you're part of the problem. Okay? Guys, please do go ahead and smash the like button if you haven't already done so. If you are new and you haven't yet subscribed to Lady Visionary's channel, like, what are you doing here without subscribing? We're aiming to hit 3,500 subscribers. So just support Lady Visionary's channel and all that I'm doing here on the continent. Here specifically, I am in Rwanda. I've relocated from the UK and I'm now in Rwanda and loving it. Okay, this is where I am based. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I wouldn't want to be in Europe. I wouldn't want to be in the Americas. I am happy being here in Rwanda. And I'm part of, you know, this whole movement of trying to help change the narrative of Africa, because a lot of you guys seeing our videos, like my videos, the likes of Warden Myers and so many other YouTubers, you guys are having insights into what the continent actually looks like, that there is beauty in Africa, the lies that have been sold to you guys that nothing good is in Africa. Everybody here is diseased or starving or dependent, you know. So obviously, like, we are showing you the true sides. We're not saying there's no, like, challenges are here on the continent, but tell me a place where you don't have challenges. And tell me a place where you have the perfect leader. Like, nobody is perfect, you know. So we need to stop that blaming game, because like when we do this, the enemies, as some of you guys would say, are like they're laughing, because this is exactly how they've been able to maintain instability and war and division amongst our people. Okay, Medjay saying it's like when they are saying British tea. I've been to the UK several times. I never saw not even a single tea plant in Britain. The only food I saw growing there was grasses, cabbages, and cauliflower. Enough said. Yes, the tea, the coffee, the cocoa. Guys, what isn't coming from Africa? Africa feeds the world. Is that even new? Africa feeds the world. But this propaganda, the picture that has been painted is that like the West and the Americas feed Africa. Africa is feeding the world. And so that's some of, the lies that have been told on Africa. And even like, continental Africans, the picture that's portrayed even here that, the West is best, the Americas is best. But those countries are striving because of Africa. Okay. Esther is in the building. Finally, Africa is on her way to taking 100% control of all her natural resources and supply chains across all sectors. Ghana is leading one step at a time. Most definitely. Ghana, I'm proud of Ghana, guys. I am definitely proud of Ghana. I know that there's more to be done. There's definitely more to be done. And some of you guys will argue that progress is not happening fast enough. And there's times when I myself has been frustrated because I'm like, come on, Africa, like, what are you doing? We can do so much more than this, so much more than we're currently doing. The challenges that we're facing here, if only we put the right policies in place, take the right steps, like a lot will change here on the continent. Some of us will say baby steps. Come on, Lady Visionary, baby steps. Like, we can't expect things to happen overnight. Guys, if you haven't already done so, please do go ahead and smash on that red subscribe button, the like button, support Lady Visionary's channel just by, clicking on that like button helps my channel to grow, gain visibility. And guys, whilst you're here and you're loving the conversation, you can support with a super chat or a super sticker just by clicking on that $ right there. Okay, so we have, right, I don't understand what's happening here. We have Charles in the building from Zaniheza.
Hi. Hey. I thought I would join on this one. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I am good. Thank you. And it's very, very interesting that 2 days ago I did my live on Facebook about this same topic. And I would like anyone to pause for a moment and think of anything we use in the world, like really just soap, water. Let me focus on the cell phones, computers, the technology, and just close your eyes, and then I will tell you anything of utility that we use comes from Africa. Like the Colton and these babies and these phones that everyone is using, it's from DRC.
Exactly.
It's
there's
if Africa.
But
yeah, I think there are only a few places, but yeah, I know the DRC and food. I mean, the chocolate that we all love. The topic of this conversation, and for the love of me, if the continent was to just be a walk for a moment, not to mention the brothers and sisters who are working abroad, and I'm not sure. I see all these big celebrations whenever a big a big job um, is suddenly awarded to someone from the continent, I see big celebrations, and I'm like, no, they should be working home. Go back. Like, really, brain drain as well. It's like IMF, the new director. Yes, there is a pride, but go and home. We need you there.
Most definitely. You know,
Um,
that's it. Diaspora, yeah, we're needed back home, most definitely. So let me know clearly, do you think this is a good decision? What the Ghanaian president has done? Do you think it's a bad decision? What do you think will be the repercussions, the impact? Yeah.
Economically, it's not wise, I would say. Um, I haven't not read much about it. I think you can suddenly close the doors. Um, we need to find a way to make it fair, not all for nothing. Now, if you close the doors suddenly like that, and they know, um, we have a say: you don't bite the hand that feeds you. So if you close the door, then you risk to get in a situation where now you have an economic crisis. So I hope they have a backup plan, because if they don't, then you see, that reminds me of what Mugabe did in Zimbabwe by saying the by the farms, and then what happened? People start to starve. So at this stage, we need to raise awareness, and we need to think of how we can approach the situation. I think the president of Rwanda, PK, is the one who tend to approach our situation on a logic level without just saying, we need to find a partnership. That's what we are looking for, an equal partnership. Because at the end of the day, who are the biggest consumers of the chocolate? It's not us. Um, so I don't know. So I mean, if they close the cocoa beans, then what's going to happen to the farmers? Unless the government is going to be buying all of them,
But
Now,
I
if
think
they,
plan in place. They might, I understand where you're coming from, just to kind of because I think the Swiss president, she didn't see that coming, just by the look on her face. She really didn't see that coming. It looked like the president just literally slammed the door shut, and it was just like, what? I definitely wasn't expecting this. But definitely, obviously, it will be dangerous for them to do that without having a plan and without like really understanding the market. So my thinking is that he's a lot smarter than that.
I mean, he may be smarter. However, my concern is that, remember,
Concern, um, that there may be a retaliation, and like we'll see like maybe a similar pattern, maybe of what happened in Zimbabwe. I don't know, but I really don't feel like that will happen.
I mean, because remember, we have to be realistic, even in the travel, which is what I do. The travel in Africa is $1 billion industry, dominated by the West, of course. Now, you cannot suddenly say, well, we can no longer welcome travelers from the West. That will not be a good approach. Now, my concern is that, well, you can say no to Switzerland. However, the Chinese then may come in, and then they, they may come in, and then they may take over. Then what have we done? Because the truth, and I think Ghana is one of the countries that depends heavily on the Chinese support now. So I think at this stage, for me, it's not wise. We can suddenly shut the door. I mean, I will have to read more about it. And unfortunately, I've been so busy with Zaniheza, I don't follow much news. However, I don't think it will be wise economically, no matter, because we still have, there is the political aspect of it, but there is the economical, and especially during COVID. Um, during COVID now. It's no time to. And here's one. Where are you gonna get those vaccines? We are trying to get vaccines now.
Wow. But it's interesting because you know, obviously a lot of us will be watching to see how this pans out, whether it will have a negative or a positive impact on the Ghanaian people. So, you know, a lot of us, we are alert, we're keeping our eyes peeled. Definitely, you know, we're watching to see exactly what happens because obviously we want a move in the right direction. For Africa, there'll be a lot of people who are obviously divided. I myself, you know, think it's a good move, but also there needs to be a strategy definitely in place. You know, they're not saying they're not exporting any chocolates. They're just saying, well, now we're not exporting the coffee beans. We're processing it here on the continent, and you know, we're making our own chocolate. So you can always buy our chocolates, you know. So we're not completely shutting the door.
However, I mean, can they? Because I actually watched a documentary in French about this similar topic on how things like rice, like we produce things in Africa, but we don't have a way to manufacture them. Hence, we need to send them abroad, and then we buy them back. Now, I am for the reduction of what goes abroad, like not to zero, but maybe reduce it to maybe 40% or 20%, and then try to negotiate how to make it fair. Like not just reduce it to zero, but just go to a low number where they're gonna feel some of the pain, but without causing any more repercussion. Because I don't think right now it's not the moment to cause an anger with our friends in the West who hold all our vaccines, which we need. And um,
No. I understand where you're coming from. You know, it may, you know, your concern is that it may cause some upset, some sanctions, but you know, it's interesting to see, you know, to see how this sort of pans out. And I'm sure, you know, the Ghanaian president will have some plans lined out, whether that will work. Obviously, I'm hoping it will work. I hope that they have a strategy in place and it won't come back to bite them in the butt, if you know what I mean.
yeah, and that's not gonna be only them, because whatever happens in Ghana, it's also felt in many other places in Africa. And it all goes with the bad publicity as well that we tend to receive. Everything you and I we are trying to fight for, the positive Africa we are trying to show, and
Hmm.
some of the decisions made with our leaders, I mean, we have to pay attention to them because they set the tone on how the world perceives us. Ghana, for example, it is now becoming a major touristic destination,
Yes, it is.
and no matter how much we would like to see a change, we are still dependent to a certain level to with the connections we have with the European. I mean, the tie has been there for many, 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 many years. We can't just suddenly cut that tie. We need to find a way to leverage that. Now, if he's reduced that to zero, I mean, did he talk of any plan, or is just that we do this and then we will see? In which case, it will be very scary.
Details of that. I've just the speech. But yeah, I'm looking forward to reading the details in terms of what are the plans set out to ensure that this doesn't have a negative impact. So yes, I need to still sort of do my research and, you know, look out and see what's out there. This is an interesting TD is asking a question. Can't Ghana trade with other African countries now? Isn't trade open to within the entire continent? And I think that's something that's probably lacking amongst the African countries is that the trade between each other. But again, the largest, you have to look at the market. Who are the largest consumers of the chocolates? and where the market will be coming from. So that will also have an impact as well.
Yes, and to that, I would like to say that recently, most countries in Africa, they finally signed the African Continental Trade Area. So we are gonna see more of the trade between the African countries. But again, it's still new.
Okay,
So
so
no, go ahead.
that's what Africa needs to build its economy, because a lot of the times, even where, we can get things from the continent, but we're choosing to, import it from the Americas or, the West.
Yes, yeah, we do because that's where they have the manufacturing process. We don't have that yet, and that is a challenge. That takes years. And I also believe with the cocoa beans, the neighboring country, Ivory Coast, they also produce some.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yeah, Ivory Coast also has. So if Ivory Coast still sells some, then well, unless they do a block. Um, Now we will see what the retaliation will be, but I just want to to kind of to come in and sort of share my thoughts on that. And how are you doing, by the way?
I'm doing well. How are you doing? Please just take the opportunity to tell our audience what you do. So obviously you run a company here called Zani Heza here in Rwanda. So tell us a little bit more and where people could find you, different platforms.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yes, I mean Zaniheza, which is also on the YouTube channel. It is a travel company that is mostly, in my eyes, a movement. Um, I would like to change how people travel to the continent. Um, because I think even the way we promote our travel, it's still from the European, from the colonial time, a place of
Mhm.
darkness where you come, you go for safari, and then you head out, and then you wait for our chocolate, our cocoa beans to arrive, and that's it. It's more so to give that positivity about the Africans, like, just when you go, you can really get to know us. I think that's what is lacking. So with Zaniheza, that's what I'm trying to achieve. So, and through this journey, I have met you, and so we are available on YouTube and on other social platforms. Um, and I would like to thank you for what you are doing over there. Are you still in Musanze?
Yes, this is where I'm based. Um, yeah, I mean, this is where I'm based, and so many people have reached out to me, to do collaborations in Kigali, and I just need to, because of the whole restrictions right now, it's sort of challenging. But we're waiting, I think tomorrow or Tuesday, to see whether the district will open up a bit more and we'll have a little bit more flexibility. But I do plan to meet with a lot of you guys. When the time is right. But I'm doing so much here in the northern province, specifically in Musanze. But most definitely, the time will come.
No, the time
So
will
thank
come. Actually, there are some
yeah.
good news as you continue on your journey. I mean, Rwanda is going to host CHOGM, the Commonwealth. It's going to be happening in June, towards the end of June. So they are already big preparation, yes. And we should be proud of for this because it will be one of the major events held when COVID is not quite done yet. And
Mm.
Rwanda has continued with the preparation. And that is a good sign. It is a good thing because we want to hold those events to show the world that such big events can be held in our country with the partners from Europe and everywhere else in America. And for you, there will be the tour of Musanze. It's happening, the bicycling, I think early May.
Uh-huh, uh-huh.
So you are going to be busy. So they are, I think I can see the world opening up. Um,
Rwanda, I'm saying to my viewers, Rwanda is the place to be. I'm loving my life here. I'm living my best life and I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. And I know so many people are focused on Kigali, and Kigali is great, but I'm here in Musanze shedding a different light and I'm loving it. So, and there's so many big things happening, so I'm excited. I'm very, very excited. But anyway, Charles, thank
Musanze,
you.
yeah,
Send your
thanks.
link out in the chat. Please send your link out in the chat for anybody who wants to, connect with you or, on YouTube, Zaniheza, and also you have your Instagram. So please send out the details in the comment section so that our viewers can go over and support you. But thank you so much for your
Thank you.
contribution. Appreciate it,
Bye.
Charles. Thank you. And come back again next time.
Absolutely.
Right, guys, that was Charles from Zaniheza. He will send out his details so you guys can go ahead and support. That's what we want to do. We want to support Black-owned businesses on the continent. So please do go ahead and support him. Today, we've been talking about the decision that Ghana has made to stop the exports of cocoa beans to Switzerland. Guys, what do you think? Are you new coming in right now? Please just smash on that red subscribe button. Give me a thumbs up. If you've been loving the conversation, then you can support me with a super chat. I'm also on Patreon, guys. If you guys want to support me over on Patreon, if you guys want to support the projects that I'm doing here, like the Africa Rising Investment Funds, then you guys can go ahead and support via PayPal. Just reference the Africa Rising Investment Funds. That's where I'm supporting young people here in business, specifically in the rural settings, because they are the people who normally get left behind. So guys, I'm also on Instagram as Lady Visionary. I also have a business Instagram. It's Twin Lakes Recreational Island. I also want to say a big thank you to those of you guys who have sent a super chat during this live, because I didn't have, there was so much happening, I didn't get time to recognize that, but I did see it. So thank you so much. I really do appreciate the super chats. Thank you. Let's go ahead and see what more of you guys are saying. If you let's send out the link. If there's any Ghanaians in the building, you just want to come in and speak to me about this particular topic. Otherwise, I will be rounding up soon. Like, I was just really excited about this. I know some people will disagree and agree with what the Ghanaian president has done. Some people won't be sure about the repercussions, the impact. Some of you guys will be thinking that this is a step in the right direction. I'm thinking it will be the step in the right direction, especially if there is sort of a roadmap, there's a plan with regards to what will Ghana do now and what is its plan. Is there a roadmap set out? So let me know what you guys think. I've also just sent out the link again for anybody who wants to come in and add value to this conversation. You are most welcome. Right, let's have a look and see what you guys are saying in the comments. We've got Comfort in the building saying greetings to you all in the building. I've already hit the thumbs up. Thank you so much. Diane Hill is saying, wow. David Rubin is saying, the West don't welcome us now. David, we drive the world economy. Most definitely. Africa feeds the world. We need to accept some short-term pain for long-term success. I agree with that. I really do agree with that. And I think some leaders, some people will think that they'll be so scared to kind of draw back and let go of that dependency structure that's been in place for so long. And they'll be what's the word? Concerned about maybe the repercussions that will be put in place. For example, like Rwanda, forgot what year it was, but they stopped the import of second-hand goods and was promoting more made in Rwanda goods and new items, right? And so what America did was impose like sanctions, they increased the taxes to Rwanda, so, but then the great thing about Rwanda, they stood by their decision to stop the import of all these sort of second hand goods. Africa, we want good things too. So yeah, we just have to stand with our decisions because we know that it will have a positive impact in the future. And Rwanda taking that stance and putting that policy in place to stop the imports of all these secondhand items meant that it was like an opportunity for Rwandans to develop in the fashion industry. People could started birthing companies that showcase their talent and their ability and skills and what Rwandans can actually do. So obviously it's still a challenge, but it's definitely been a step in the right direction. And a lot of designers have birthed in Rwanda because of this new policy. So which have meant more business for the Rwandan people and more job creation for the Rwandan people. So right, let's see who's in the building. We have Deborah. Right. Okay, let's see if we can add you. Right.
Hi.
Hello, 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 Deborah. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Oh, I've watched your channel for some time, but it's nice to see you live. It's interesting.
Oh, thank you, and welcome, welcome. How are you doing?
Not bad. Yeah, I'm really happy about this because I always say that there's nothing wrong with Africa having resources, but Africa should benefit from their resources. And the thing is, if you're gonna give somebody your resources, at least give it to them for a price that's worth it. That's the huge
Exactly.
problem with us. It's like we just give our things so cheap. And we have the thing, so it's like we can stand up because we have the material. Like Switzerland, in that video, we saw that Switzerland admitted that they have no cocoa. Wow, what a surprise! But you have the world's supposedly best chocolate,
That doesn't make sense. Like
right?
what? That is bizarre. That
It
is
is,
so bizarre.
and I like this. I just hope that this can keep going, because for far too long stuff like this has been happening. But I like how I think that in the future we're gonna see more African leaders like not be so afraid to stand up and say
Mhm.
no. So I can't wait to see that.
Yeah, I think a lot of people were quite surprised at the Ghanaian president, but like also in a positive way. As I said, I know some people be like, "Oh, Ghana, what are you doing? This can be, there can be repercussions here." But it's like that stance of kind of taking control. And as someone else said, it's like that speech was also was also aimed at other African countries to say, well, we need to start taking control of our natural resources. We need to be the ones calling the shots because a lot of the times it's the West or the Americas that's really benefiting from our resources. And it's time that the people started benefiting from our own resources here on the continent.
Well, yeah, Lady Visionary, it does go back to a long time ago because uh it speaks to this whole notion that Africa is seen as a child and the West is seen as like the parents that always have to tell the child what to do. So
Mhm.
I get why it happens because obviously after colonization, we didn't have control of our resources and we didn't have control of the markets. But I still think a lot of African leaders are making excuses when it comes to certain things because it's like they haven't even gone back and looked at some of these rules or some of these laws. Because there are certain laws in certain countries that you can't do this, you can't do that. But who said those laws? It's not
Mm,
us, right?
exactly.
So why don't we
Exactly.
change some of those laws? Like, yeah, we just have to do that.
Mm, is that like, and I think a lot of people will agree, is that, some African leaders are scared of the potential repercussions.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah,
Are they scared, as a Charles pointed out, what happened to Zimbabwe? Are they scared that that sort of that sort of process will happen if they started to, make certain demands or change certain policies that would mean potentially that, the continent will benefit, and we will be the ones who are in the position, and we're the driving force.
Well, I suppose
I
so.
suppose so.
But
But
to counteract
to
that, I would still say that we have to start from somewhere because we just do, unfortunately. That's why I love Magufuli. Like Magufuli's not taking people's nonsense.
I know quite a lot of people love him and what he's standing for, and a lot of people are saying, oh, he's not like a puppet to the West. So yeah, I'm watching, the world is watching, and we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
For sure, for sure. Thank you for having me here. Thank you. I'll see you next time.
So come back again soon.
For sure.
So we appreciate you. Guys, if you haven't already done so, smash the subscribe button, the like button, the share button. If you enjoy this conversation, you can also join me over on Patreon, support the work that I'm doing here on the channel. Let's see what more you guys are saying. Ruby's saying, stop worrying about the consequences. They need us. Look at China. They stopped giving away their natural resources to focus on partnerships. As a result, companies like Tesla has to go to them now. Yeah, like I agree with that. I think a lot of the times we're worried about the consequences, but if you don't take the risk, then you might that we need to see on the continent. So I agree with you. We need to stop thinking so much about the consequences. And I think if there's a plan in place, most definitely, um, if there's a plan in place, the only way is forward, I think. Okay, I'm just trying to see more of you guys' comments. Um, Right, so maybe visionary have to cover African leaders and bet for CIA and American improved by now. Oh God, guys. Running um, and it's a false sense of dependency that Africa has with the West. Africa has everything. It's this ingrained in Africa that we need the Americans. And it's not just like that. That's everything. I don't know what we did with the West of the Americans, but we need to start benefiting more from the good. The people that we made, like, we're not saying that part of it we should be doing. And they were saying, when you're in an abusive relationship, you divorce immediately. Girl was saying he is real black people keep a lot of secret, especially in the US where I live. And so it's saying in the late 50s and early 50s, our parents told the colonizers to get out and take independence. They didn't try to keep them. Now it's time to choose independence. Yeah. So it's that, Africa doesn't have independence. We very reliant, very dependent on West, and this idea of policy, education for young people, so many people in the continent, and work, we need to for our young people. Um, in place of learn practical transparency. Still, it's very good. Very good. But people respond with wisdom and be wise in their strength, not emotion. Regardless, to be a man with a plan and not one who makes foolish moves. Yes, I really do. You have a plan. So it's interesting to know what you can. Okay, okay, okay. Yeah. I don't know if you guys have any questions, but I'm rounding up shortly. I'm rounding up shortly. Let's have a look. Yeah, George was trying to join the live, but unfortunately, yeah, the microphone, I think, was working at the end to, do other stuff. And to able to, I wasn't able to do it. They were saying, how can you do it? And women and girls and tell them that basically to live in countries to return to goodness, totally where you're coming from. They're always saying, why do you think this is like that? Oh, my mind. Why? You guys can hear me. You guys hear me. Oh my goodness. You guys hear me now? Let me know. Just type one if you guys can hear me. Can you guys hear me? Type one if you can hear me. I'm not quite sure what's happening. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? We can't understand anything you are saying. Type one if you can hear me. I'm not quite sure what's happening. Can you guys hear me? No one is typing anything. What's going on? Audio issues. Oh my God. Okay. Guys, I am going to be rounding up now. Okay, okay. Guys, okay, fantastic. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Um, thank you. Glad that you guys can finally hear me now. Perfect. So guys, has been a wonderful conversation, a wonderful discussion. We've been talking about the fact that the Ghanaian citizens have decided to get the export of coffee um, cocoa beans, not coffee beans, cocoa beans to Switzerland. Okay, so the idea is that they will take them to cocoa beans and create jobs for the Ghanaian people. And he said that this is imperative to the prosperity of the Ghanaian people. So that's really interesting thing. We need a hope a right move and to kind of aspect of control of its own raw materials, to kind of effectively process some of their own raw materials, creating jobs in the different various countries. So I think it's what we realizes to say that, you know, we just from learn of this like that, maybe there needs to be a better strategy, a partnership. But sometimes it's done, good and talk about it. That is what I would say, and then to leave the comments, and the people that is interested, the interested to speak about it, to come out, and some of them are concerned, maybe are concerned that it could be a situation that could happen in Zimbabwe, I'm hoping not that. I'm hoping that they are definitely curious to see exactly um, that'd be interesting to see what happens and whether the family support their what are going to say about this. It's really interesting to see how other African countries feel. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me? Let me know if you can hear me. Type 1 if you can hear me. Okay, perfect, guys. Unfortunately, I don't know what the problem with the audio, but I'm just saying right now, I'm going to say, no, I didn't touch anything, I swear. My mic was still saying that I'm on. You like to unmute it. But I think every one of you guys who's joined the conversation today, those of you guys who listen in, those of you guys listen live, and those of you guys who want to say that. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys who keep coming in here and support me. I see your comments, I see your emails. A lot of you guys DM me on Instagram, and if you're not following me on Instagram, please go ahead and follow me on Instagram and follow at Lady Visionary. But if you don't have a business Instagram, then you know, Destination Ireland. You can also follow me over there on Instagram. Guys, I will post this live that I do offer one-on-one consultation. You know, you all below in the description bar, so you can go ahead and send me, you can go ahead and send me email. I'm going to say bye to you guys. Take care, guys. I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye. Can you guys hear me? Press 1 if you can hear me. Can you guys hear me now? Okay, perfect. Guys, I was basically just signing out because I don't know what's happening to my volume, but I just again want to say thank you to each and every one of you guys who've joined me here today. As I said, I'm offering consultations. All the details are down below in the description bar. You can go ahead and support my work via PayPal. Join Patreon. I think that is it for this And one I know you guys are listening and support as well. But it's really where I am. It's like 11, it's like 11 o'clock here, in Rwanda. So, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one. Don't forget to get a value of the subscribe. So, you guys are welcome to the email there, okay? The email there. So, thank you guys, and we'll see you again in the next one. And guys, so you can really guys.